In a free society, we don't want to go around telling people what they've got to do. Still, we got to impose some constraint. There will be jerks. Always have been, always will be. We need to put their antics on a leash. If you care about your liberty, you should care about curbing the worst excesses of humankind, and for that you need to ponder a question that's harder than it seems. What is a jerk? How can we tell who's being one? You can't stop them if you can't identify them, and if we misidentify them, we'll be leashing non-jerks and letting real jerks run wild. A lot of us play jerk police, making citizens' arrests of anyone we decide is a jerk. But few wonder what really defines jerkdom. We think we already know. We don't, and it shows. Our free society is a moral free-for-all, everyone policing everyone else's jerkiness, but to no clear standard other than "you offend me" or "get the hell out of my way." So if these days you find yourself obsessed with some particularly obnoxious politician or just someone persistently awful in your life, now's a great time to do some exploration on that crucial question. And beware, there are trap doors strewn everywhere that will stop you from wondering. Here are a few big ones, simple solutions to the jerk problem that simply don't work. Pat and patently false solutions, starting with a few that say it's all about you. Spiritual types often tell you that whenever someone bothers you, you should just change your attitude and accept them. Sure, the problem might be your attitude, but really assuming it's always you, victims are always to blame? No, don't cut the jerks that slack. True, jerkiness is part of human nature. It's in all of us. Still, automatically assuming that if you spot a jerk, you're the jerk just enables them. Jerks respond to every challenge with variations on, "I know you are, but what am I?" You don't want to feed that by saying, "Yup, it's me after all." This popular notion is ridiculous. Amazing how many people fall for it. You shouldn't be judgmental is itself a judgment. And funny, you never hear "don't be judgmental" when people are complimented. There's no escaping judgment. You just want to judge well. And sometimes that means judging someone to be a jerk. More hypocritical advice, since name caller is name calling. Funny too that you never hear "don't name call" when people say you're a great person. There's no escaping name calling either. You'll do it aloud, under your breath, or in so many words. No, you just want to name call accurately. That's the point in getting careful about how to decide who's a jerk. A good place to start maybe, but a terrible place to stop, so no one really does. If someone is routinely engaged in jerk behavior, you'll generalize, not just the sin, but the sinner. If you're bothered by someone, it's automatically half your fault? Call it a tie? Is slavery half the slave's fault? Nah, again, it encourages jerks. And bystanders too, who ignore oppression, saying the victims are equally to blame. Sure, it's good to walk away or just ignore jerks when you can, but you sure as hell can't always. Live and let live works great, so long as you don't have to live with them. A jerk, relative, colleague, boss, or a dictator, you can't just walk away. On to the trapdoors that make it all about them. He's a jerk because he did this, that, and the other thing. Listing your litany of grievances focuses on symptoms. Do they add up to the person being a jerk? Maybe, but how? That's the question. You decide someone's a jerk because they lied. Well, we all lie. Lying, which goes by other names when we like it, being tactful, diplomatic, keeping a secret, has its place. Or try, she's a game player. Again, we all play games. We say, I hate game playing when we're annoyed with games that hurt us, but that doesn't mean we don't play them. Plenty of game players say they hate game playing. We're all quick to call something a fatal flaw, but we also live by these supposedly fatal flaws. A narcissist, A psychopath? Such terms make our subjective impressions sound like objective medical diagnoses, just calling a spade a spade. It's not that simple. Yes, there really are narcissists and psychopaths, but far fewer than diagnosed. Narcissists care for no one but themselves. If they don't care about you, that's not narcissism. Indeed, being quick to diagnose unsatisfying people as narcissists is just what a narcissist would do. He's a jerk because he's selfish, greedy, mean, uncaring, a hypocrite. What do these terms really mean? Some are circular. A jerk is mean and meanness makes someone a jerk. Exploration means going beyond these simple categorizations. What is selfishness? Caring most about oneself? Well, who doesn't? We all feel our pleasure and pain more directly than other people's. What is greed? Wanting more for yourself? Again, who doesn't? Mean? Mean to you maybe, but we're all mean to someone. We all disappoint. Hypocrite? If we find people selfish, even though we also prioritize our interests over other people's, are we being hypocrites about our own hypocrisy? Where do we draw the line between selfishness, greed, hypocrisy, and too much selfishness, greed, and hypocrisy? How do you know whether someone has crossed the line? These are questions very much on my mind these days, what with our political scene. But then they've been on my mind for about 20 years, ever since I found my way around those trapdoors. Our survival as a nation, and even as a species, depends on finding our way around these trapdoors and getting serious about the question, what makes a jerk a jerk? And like I said, our freedom too. In a free society, you don't get to tell people what to do, but you still have to constrain the jerks. Better try to get clearer on what a jerk is.